It's the landscaping show that frightens people.
Yeah, I've been scared of the stonework ever since we started.
The stakes are high.
This has to be done by next summer or my family's gonna kill me.
It's full of drama.
So we're all out of concrete.
Oh, that's a drama.
There's even a water feature.
To see it finished looks absolutely amazing. This is a beautiful job.
My name is Kennedy. I'm a landscape designer. This is my youngest one, Duncan. He's 5 months old now, actually. So he's running around with me every Friday, going to job sites if I need to come out. Don't let anybody tell you kids are tough. Kids are easy to please. Clients, on the other hand, well, let me tell you a story. This particular client has just been through a major reno.
We just thought that we would like to finish off our backyard sort of consistent with how the house was finished out and to get a little bit more use out of the backyard than we did in the past.
Roman's wife, Elaine, is a bit camera shy.
She's still there.
But she'll be very involved in this job. Right now, what's not working in the backyard is there's not enough room to entertain. The plants have kind of just overgrown, not really been taken care of. And now because they did the reno, the grade on the house, and I don't know if it's always been this high, but to us, it's too high off the ground, so we need a flow through because their kitchen's gonna flow nicely down into this backyard. Right now, it's just a drop off.
We're hoping for the backyard to have sort of a courtyard effect to it.
One thing is color. No blacks or any of the gray, all that. Really want the beiges, like the interior.
We're also looking for a space where it's soothing, relaxing, maybe a water feature there to kind of calm us down at the end of the day.
This is the list you got from the leaders?
Yep. This is Lorne, our senior designer. He's going to help this backyard turn over a new leaf. Now, there's one here that says modern.
Modern.
I tend to like more the modern.
He is kind of a little more modern, like what he was saying, but I think she might.
Can I put a question mark there?
My wife, Elaine, has a lot of input. She's a little bit more traditional.
I think she might get what she wants more. I'm not sure.
Okay, so she wears the pants in the family.
My wife, Elaine, makes the decisions in this household, but I'd like to believe that I have some veto power.
Everything seems to be pretty controlled.
Right, controlled. Unlike my business partner, James.
What the hell is he doing? Did he hang a moon?
James definitely doesn't wear the pants in this office.
How hetero. So here's the deal. Roman wants us to come up with something that's tranquil, but not fussy.
They're asking for low maintenance, and the lowest maintenance would be, as the joke goes, concrete the whole thing. So a lot of it is patio.
We're going to use large steps coming out of the kitchen and into the backyard to avoid that drop-off feeling. The top step's going to be big enough for a bistro table and chairs to give the clients a little coffee area just outside the kitchen. We'll put an arbor area on this side of the yard to create a large entertainment space. Roman and Elaine would like a water feature, so we'll put that over here.
The highest maintenance is water features. And this client wants one, contradictory to the low maintenance request, but it's just an element that in a garden it's hard to replace with something else.
The water feature really adds to the tranquility. We're also going to do plantings around the perimeter. It's a shade garden, so we're going to have to come up with plants that don't need a lot of sun. We're going to move the shed to the back of the yard because basically sheds are ugly and we want to get it out of the way. We're also going to build a decorative screen to put in front of the shed, and eventually vines will grow on it and the shed will be completely hidden from view.
I wish my own backyard could even approach what this is going to look like. Well, everybody's asked me, what's this cage for? And it's not for anything. It's just to divide the whole garden up and create more kind of room feeling to it. It's kind of how I design. I design in your face kind of feeling. I always tell people, we don't sit you right near the house because you got to be out in the garden to feel like it's a garden. Eventually when plants are all grown up here, they'll just kind of envelop you, this whole sitting area down here. It's amazing when you're designing for yourself and there's no rules. It's impossible. This has taken forever. This has to be done by next summer or my family's gonna kill me.
Who's this, Lato?
Yes.
What's the client thinking for a color schematic?
Well, if they're really not telling us anything right now, we're just going with, I think, A little more yellows, just because it's kind of shady and, you know, just to brighten it up a little bit. But
They seem to have a fair landing up here. Did they want to do anything with it, or what's happening here?
I think they want a bistro table and barbecue.
just not to have to go down to the major
Right.
table all the time.
As a
just
main
for
and-
Yeah, for
coffee.
your morning coffee, it's nice to just nip out here.
And this is really, really secluded, kind of in the yard.
I like
This is
it.
pretty great.
It's very cool.
Looks like it has nice solid bones with the existing mature plant material,
Yeah.
and it's ready to go.
Meanwhile, back at the job site, everything, the grass, the bushes, the deck, everything has been torn out. While there's no turning back, our camera-shy contractor, Elaine, has not been seen, but she has definitely been heard. I just got a call from Elaine. She thinks the steps from the kitchen down to the patio are a bit too big. I don't want to make these steps too small, because if it's too small, they'll just feel like they just drop off. So I have Ron, our general contractor, down there now trying to sort all this out.
They really wanted to see the size of the steps in proportion to the house. A lot of people can't relate off plans.
So Ron is kind of staging it just to show Elaine what the sizes will be.
So it's one step, back to here, one more step, and another step.
I'm pretty sure the steps are the right size, but if we have to give the client some time to mull it over, so be it.
This is kind of on hold, I guess, for now.
So we're on hold until our clients can decide when this project can take its next step.
Well, we're hoping for the backyard to have sort of a courtyard effect to it.
Screens, shade-friendly plantings, and an arbor will make it a great place to chill out. As for a water feature, the highest maintenance is water features. And this client wants one, contradictory to the low maintenance request. But in the end, change is going to be unbelievable. The clients wanted to see a roughed-in patio, which is putting us into a bit of a delay.
I travel a fair bit, and so it's really kind of hard to get together with people to finalize decisions.
Happily, it's been approved and we're moving forward. The patio is going to be a random square cut, which means all the flagstone is going to be cut into different sized squares and rectangles and then fitted together. It gives the garden a bit of a formal look. The patio here comes right up to and becomes the edge of the water feature around here. But the back stands up about this high. This is kind of emulating the size of water feature. Whatever I order goes in the wall that they build here and spills out like this, width spills out into the pool. Whenever you do like a sheet of water pouring, it breaks the surface of the water. So you don't continually get like the Bacchus like spitting out the water like that, where it's like, you know, it's kind of an annoying sound. This is more like sheet rain, like that. It's one thing to sound like a fountain. It's another to find the right fountain.
Some people misunderstand, and it doesn't go out like this.
Right.
It actually just will come out like maybe like that.
This is stainless.
Stainless steel,
Awesome.
won't rust. So you're just gonna attach your tubing here
Yeah.
to whatever pump. Do you have the pump, or you need to choose a pump too?
We need the pump and piping. We'll get it all from you guys.
Okay.
And this is all winter, saying.
Yep, it's guaranteed for winterizing, which means that if it freezes, it's gonna be fine.
Wow, I'm pumped about this water feature. Back at the job site, the stairs are going in. The steps off the kitchen are laid in mortar on top of a concrete form. The new shed will also be built on a concrete pad.
This morning we got concrete delivered, but the concrete company did a miscalculation, and you can see we're a little bit short.
We're all out of concrete.
Hold on, I gotta go punch out the concrete guy. Would have been nice to get it all poured as one pour, but we'll have to add on to it.
But the backyard isn't all hardscape.
It'd be nice to put some yellow plants in this garden, Kennedy. Well, my only concern is the sun.
Yeah.
Are there some sunny spots?
This is kind of the sunnier kind of area right in here.
Okay.
But there's some yellows too that can handle shade, so.
So it'd be nice
Yeah,
to put some date
brighten
LA,
up it.
especially this one that has
Yeah.
a beautiful red center
sure.
to it.
Not only that, and they're so hardy, like the grassiness of it. When there's no flower there, it's kind of cool looking still.
Black-eyed Susan is another nice option. It's a real traditional plant, and it comes up later in the summer, so that's nice for late season color.
What's the height?
18 inches.
Yeah. Hostas.
And the only disadvantage of hosta is it does disappear into the ground in the winter, so it's just earth showing. So
I wonder if she'll go for You know, like this yellow,
Red.
maybe the red in it or something like that.
I don't know. I don't see why not.
I mean, I love this. It's amazing.
Although
These
yellow is the
plants are
most
cool.
popular color to dislike.
Meanwhile, progress continues in Roman's yard, where we're installing the arbor posts.
Okay, give her. So this is gonna have a trellis or pergola
yes.
top to it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
the detail on that still has to be worked out.
Yeah. We're almost there with the arbor design, except for the beams sticking out from the roof. It's got to be a little more consistent with the style of the house. Lorne's come up with a very simple solution.
See the oven? I'm talking about just the edges of it. Maybe do a little molding detail around that. Yeah.
Basically, we're going to take a cue from their interior and add crown molding to the arbor.
Actually, the more I look at the house, the more I like the molding idea.
Often the simplest solution is the best solution. Patio and stairs are in, as are the posts. The water features being built were golden. Now it's time to install the screens to give us some privacy and disguise the new shed.
That's why we painted the black on the shed so it kind of disappears in behind the grid. That looks pretty sweet, actually.
Well, not that sweet. Everything was going along smoothly. We just got new instructions from Elaine. She actually wants to take out the screen. Gone.
Completely gone?
Yeah. Nothing to do with workmanship.
Better not be.
She
Doesn't like it.
she feels like it's an add-on.
All right.
This one, so I see the board and battens one on, which is actually pretty cool.
Okay, the whole shed was black with the whole idea of lattice work going on in front of it. And eventually the vines growing through it. The total black the client didn't like. She came out, it's too loud.
I liked it. I thought that it provided a great focal point for looking out the window. Elaine, on the other hand, thought that it was too much of a focal point and as a result wanted it muted back to sort of the original texture.
We decided to board and batten the whole thing, put the screen back up, leave it over the weekend to see if it'll grow on her. If not, the screen is coming out as well. We calculated the squares perfectly up and down, side to side, so that they're all the same. Now with the battens in the background, you can't tell what's part of the square and what's not. See that, Jeff?
Oh, yeah.
Looks like a mess now.
On Friday, it was like, take the screen out. Now Elaine's completely okay with the screens. Just the one beside the patio has to be tightened up, the lattice work. It's the same opening as this, just tighten them up so you have 4 squares instead of 1. It just comes down to vines growing on this. If vines grew on it, and at the end, in 5 years from now, you'd be like, wow, these are nice. It's all stark. There's no planting, and she's more about the planting.
Yeah,
She's been
yeah,
scared of the stonework ever since we started.
That happens all the time.
Is this patio too big?
Yeah,
I'm like,
the usual.
this is nothing. Wait till the arbor and everything else is up. You're gonna be going, oh my God, what did I get? You know what? All the stonework, the new shed and screens, this place is looking fantastic. So is the water feature with the, instead of the. Are you gonna be plugging this in soon, or are you gonna have to figure out how to put this thing together?
Well, I think we just plug her in and she's ready to go.
Just hope that sound's not too loud. People tell you right away. They're like, yeah, I don't like that water feature. The sound makes me want to go to the washroom. You know, and that's not what you're trying to create. You're trying to create a feeling of like nature, not to be annoying.
That's pretty quiet.
Something's wrong.
Yeah, Ron, why don't you unplug it with your wet hands?
Okay. Now let it go.
It's grounded though, right? That's weird.
This doesn't work, we smash it.
What's the old joke? How many landscapers does it take to plug in a water feature?
See, you should have got Dave to plug it in all along.
See,
You're the wrong guy plugging it in. Ooh, that's sexy, man.
That's nice.
Kenny's listening to the noise.
You know what? It's way more dramatic than I thought it was going to be.
The water feature's working, and Lorne and Joel are digging this yard.
For some reason, with the arbor and the shed all being over on one side, I would have the feeling that it could go lopsided, but it's not at all. I think the water feature grounds it out.
In the planting.
Well, yeah, exactly. The plant material is going to give it a nice balance on either side.
Ah, the plant material. As soon as we finish the stonework, we can start with the planting. Or can we? She doesn't want to use red, yellow, or orange, and I think most of the plants were in that kind of yellow area, so she wants all blues and purples and whites. So these are the areas now that need to be filled in. And she wants vines on all the fencing all around.
Okay, so do you think silver lace vine would be too intrusive, too
Probably.
rapid?
It'll grab onto everything.
Sweet autumn clematis.
Yeah.
That'd be perfect.
I think it may be on this screen.
Even the Katsura tree has a yellow fall color. Is that okay with her?
I don't think there's a tree with blue.
No, or white. What was the other color? Blue, white, and purple?
Yeah.
You can get it.
There's no fall colors. I can hardly ever do this, but one maiden grass. At the bottom of the step.
How artistic.
Predominantly, the whole backyard is going to be blue and white garden. Whenever you have shade, there's not a lot of hot color plants that do well in the shade because they lose their color when you get a lot more shade happening. You start losing a lot more of the interesting part of the plant because it reverts back to just being green and not flowering so much. Thankfully, she likes white because you can get a lot of white flowering plants for shade. Everybody thinks when they have shade, they can't even grow things. Like there's a lot out there you can grow. We're keeping the plants by the house low. So when the clients look out, they'll be able to see the entire yard unfold in front of them. And now that the plants are in, the final touch is furniture.
And what kind of look are they going for? More traditional, more modern?
It's traditional interior. It's, just upgraded.
So natural?
More natural.
No steel?
No steel. This was just to have the coffee up here. That's why this whole walkout was so big, because it's so private in that spot, and just to come out and have a coffee as opposed to going down formally sitting at a big table. So that was the main kind of dining area to get them away from the kitchen, because it's immediately the kitchen is just inside the doors there.
Sounds good. It's
I'll let you
nice.
take it away. Do your thing. And the next time we see this place, it'll be completely done.
Oh, that's good.
But today, Lisa's bringing in the finishing touches, so soon it's going to look like this.
I had actually been during construction once or twice, but to see it finished looks absolutely amazing. This is a beautiful job.
We've been part of the process every step of the way, and it's actually come out way better than we thought.
This is what we tell people all the time. You come out and the patio looks large and it looks like it's going to overwhelm the site. And now the furniture is on and it's back to like
Every meeting.
Yeah.
Every meeting during construction.
Is there enough
The
room?
patio's too big? I'm like, no, just wait till you see furniture in it. It's never big enough.
Clients put a lot of investment in their garden, and often at the end they don't put really beautiful furniture in. Maybe it's a budget issue, but often I think it's just easier for them to go to the local hardware store and buy these $2 chairs, and that really plays down the garden. I think it's worthwhile to put a little thought into the furniture that goes in. And
Yeah, we view it the same as interiors. You don't have to have patios of this caliber with this type of stone. I mean, this is all labor intensive and expensive, but you don't have to go that route, but you can still have this layout.
Yeah.
I mean, this could be pea gravel.
The idea of sitting by the water feature, I love it. That's a great idea. That's a perfect little nook.
you can almost lay there and read a book.
Oh.
Is there room for three? Let's see.
God, I wish I had this. I wish I owned this. We took almost everything out of this yard, but we left the locust for the overhead canopy. Now, locusts are great for providing filtered sunlight. The whole back is intended to be climbing hydrangea on the back of that wall, so when you're sitting here, the whole thing is just going to be this wall of green, which they can grow in the shade.
Right.
There's this traditional view of design that there's a patio, so it has to be totally covered with an arbor. And here we have a large patio, only half is arbor. And it just breaks it up and it works beautifully. And it feels like you can go to this place on one side of the arbor where it's nice atmosphere above you, and then you can go out into the openness too.
The client said from the get-go it's kind of an adult entertainment garden now. As soon as you're given that kind of leeway to kind of play like that, it's not like you have to leave a space open for the kids to play and stuff, so you can just design wall to wall. It's one thing actually which is kind of neat about this garden is they didn't change the fencing at all, because that's just a huge waste of money.
Yeah.
It's like we could change it to cedar because cedar is nicer. This is all pressure treated, but it's been here forever and it's fine. This was taking the lead from the client in their interior, because their interior kind of resembles the same exterior, which I'd love to do. These colors are inside, and the vibe inside is classic kind of feeling. People should do that if they have a crazy interior, do it crazy outside. If you have a traditional, do traditional. That's who you are. You don't really notice, I don't think, when there's so much visual feast going on that there's no lawn back here. There's stuff to look at, and the furniture's all kind of great.
The clients wanted lower maintenance gardens,
Yeah.
with no lawn.
The cat thoroughly enjoys it. She has lots of different places to go and explore and just frolic around.
It really is nice to sit in the garden after, without the stone saws going, without the dirt being brought in. Like, you know, it's
right cushion.
I don't think we get to sit in the garden after it's done enough. This is dynamite.
Hi, man, what's up?
Ah. And maybe you'll have a garden like this one day.